Today is April 16th, 2009, and I am still sober. This is, I guess, 8 days, and I owe a lot of it to Don in London on YouTube. I recommend him highly, and I'm not trying to be a copycat of his videos, but it seems to be helping him, and this is helping me, so I'm going to keep doing it, if only for myself. But I am an alcoholic, and I haven't realized how messed up I was until quitting. And I'm not talking about trying to quit, I mean actually quitting. And there's a difference this time. I've been sober for weeks at a time during the past 6 years, on and off. Never more than 14 or 15 days. But this time is different, I can truly say that, because there's a strength this time and a a sobering effect on the mind and the intellect by hearing others' experiences and sharing them. That's why I highly recommend Don in London on YouTube. Has a lot of insight into the alcoholic mind, and it's just like throwing water on a fire. Whenever you hear one of his videos, it just really makes things less complicated and brings me back to center. Whereas before I was always in the extreme, either neglecting something totally or pouring all of my energy and mind into one thing, which is not good to do. It's not normal to do that. And today I guess I want to talk about withdrawal. If you're a smoker, because I also smoked too, and not really for the sake of smoking, just to heighten the effect of alcohol in my system. And they're both addictive drugs, nicotine and alcohol, especially in combination. We feel like there's just no chance of ever doing without those two substances again. But I'm doing it, and there's many people who have done it, and I understand now what they say when they say one day at a time. And don't mock that. That's really true. The only thing you can do in effect is today. You can't change the past. You cannot work on tomorrow until tomorrow gets here, and then it's today. So that's a good motto, I think, for anyone. One day at a time. Just whatever you can do this day. And I've learned to accept, every day is not going to be extraordinary, because I always feel kind of like a failure, or have in the past. I go through the whole day and feel like, what have I done today? Have I done extraordinary things? Have I accomplished? How much have I accomplished? And I always feel like a failure. Very rarely would I feel like I did something worthwhile that day. But really, we're all human, and we can only do so much. And I've accepted today's not going to be an extraordinary day. I'm not going to do extraordinary things. But maybe I can make some progress. Maybe I can do some things that will matter. Maybe I can clean out my garage today. But only that, not feel like I have to clean the whole entire house from top to bottom spotless, which would be what I would normally do. For me, that's normal for me, is to decide to do something and then to, totally just pour myself into that project until it's done, and then at the end of the day not feel like I did enough, not feel like I'm perfect. And really, that's not an admirable quality in a person to me, because then you shut out everyone else. You shut out people, and you isolate yourself from the world and other people. And we're alone when we do that, and that's not a good thing to do. So, as I was going to talk about, withdrawal. I never had some serious withdrawal, because I think I had periods of time where I would go without drinking for days, and that kept me from the really physical dependency, but definitely the mental and emotional dependency is there, and it's still there. That's what the hard part is, getting a handle on that, is the mental and emotional dependency we have on our drug that we love so much, the drug alcohol, which is a sedative, puts the brain to sleep. when I stopped, or even when I stopped 8 days ago. No really serious withdrawal. I had a little trouble sleeping. In the past, I've had some, the sweats and just a feeling of uncomfortableness. But never got any DTs or shakes or all of that. But certainly, if I had continued in my illness and disease, and it's really easier and easier for me to accept that it's an illness and a disease on the other side of the canyon. Looking at when you're able to be sober for a certain amount of time and look back at what you were, and to still, feel those things that go through your mind, going back to, insanity, going back to the thing that was killing me and would ruin my life. That's insane. And to have those thoughts again, I just go, why in the world is this going through your mind? And I understand what people say now when it is a disease and it's chronic, because I never got to the point where I would wake up and not remember, know where I was, or not remember anything which happened the night before. Of course, I've had memory loss that goes along with it, but never, where looking outside to see if my car was in the driveway. Never got to that point, but I would have had I continued in that disease, and I would have, eventually lose my family, I'm sure, because it only gets worse. It never gets better. That's one thing you've got to remember. If you're an alcoholic, and how you tell if you're an alcoholic, if your drinking causes any problems at all. If after you drink one, you can't stop, not being able to control it after you start, not having a choice. We really don't. After we start, we got to finish it, right? But we do have a choice of taking that first drink, of not crossing over that line into taking the substance at all. Another temptation is, some of my favorite shows on television. Friends are sitting around and they all have a beer in their hand. Always. I don't know why that is, why they have to have a beer in their hand, a drink. And 1 out of 10 people who drink, I think, is an alcoholic. That's a pretty high, 10%. That may be higher than that. Maybe most people aren't, willing to admit, but at least 1 out of 10. So, if I see a show and there's a group more than 10 people, one of those people is an alcoholic. If we go by reality. On the TV is not what it's really like. Go into an actual bar and you see people making a fool of themselves and leaving and getting into their car, certainly drunk, certainly way over the legal limit. That's not reality. So, and then the other day, someone gave me a bottle of wine as a housewarming gift. And I just want to say, what are you doing? Why would you ever give someone you didn't know, really know, alcohol? They didn't know. They don't know. So I gave the bottle away to someone else, or my wife did. I wanted to just crack it open and pour it out so that I wouldn't be tempted to drink it. And I wonder, does this get better? The fight that I go through every day, which I'm winning, thanks to support that I get over the internet. Does it ever get where I'll go through a whole day and not feel tempted to drink? I mean, because it's always in my mind now. Do we ever lose that? Does it ever get better? Does it lessen? And I really hope it does. And I think that it does from listening to other people. But again, this channel is mainly to help myself, and if it helps someone else too, that's great. If you'd like to share your story, if you want to email me your story and have me read it, or if you'd like to make your own video and upload it, and I'll favorite it just so this channel can be a resource for people like me and you that need help and support. Maybe if I make it to a year being sober, I'll show my face. But anyway, I love the Serenity Prayer that Don Audie always gives. Again, his channel is Don in London on YouTube. I really recommend it. God bless.